Well, every year as Christmas rolls around, people reach into their boxes in schools and in churches. They go down into the basement, they go up into the attic, and they get out something that we call handbells. Handbells. You might ask, what are handbells? Handbells are musical instruments for people that don't have any musical skill or talent. You hold them with little gloves or with your hands. You look at a little chart in front of you, and usually there's a lady standing in front of you directing you, and you just ring them. They only ring one note each. And you ring the bell with several other people that don't have a lot of musical talent either, and you play a little song. I just want to say something that all of us are thinking and everybody's afraid to say. Handbells are terrible. They're terrible for several reasons. They're not that enjoyable to hear. They're not that musical. It's not that interesting, and we're forced to have to listen to them every year because nobody has the courage to say enough with the handbells. I ask people that say, oh, you know what, I like handbells, and I tell them, okay, how many downloaded handbell songs do you have on your iPhone? How many? How many have you downloaded? How many handbell CDs do you own? How many times have you gone out to the store and said, man, I wish I had a handbell song playing right now? You don't, because the only time you ever hear handbells is when a little group of kids or adults stand up in front of you in some program and play the handbells. And you say, oh, boy, you know, that's nice. But then when somebody starts playing a piano or a guitar, you say, wow, that's much better. Because you know what? Handbells aren't that great. They annoy people. And then when you have too many handbells and like 2 or 3 handbell songs in a row, people start to beg for death. They start to read the tithe envelope and the chair in front of them. It just gets to be brutal. I compare the handbells to like somebody playing the bagpipes. Nobody likes the bagpipes either. And when you hear the bagpipes play, you think, wow, that's really different. And the longer they play, the more irritated you become. And my question is the same for bagpipe lovers. How many bagpipe CDs do you have? How many bagpipe iTunes songs have you downloaded from the internet? How many times do you go to a restaurant and hear a bagpipe song coming over the loudspeaker? You don't, because nobody ever buys any bagpipe music. Bagpipes are terrible. I could even go so far, and get ready, hold on right now, because this could get ugly. The harp. Yes, folks, the harp. If you play the harp, God bless you, God love you. But just know when to stop. Know that we really don't enjoy the harp. We enjoy it for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're done. It's not like the guitar, the piano, the saxophone, an instrument that's really enjoyable that people want to hear. I was at a wedding where the photographer was late, and the only musician they had was a harpist. And the harpist had to play for 1 hour. It was awful. It was 1 hour of harp music. So I would say to you harp people, you bagpipe people, and especially those of you in any position of authority bending over the box of handbells and about to bring them out, for the love of everything that's holy, for the love of Santa and all his reindeer, for the love of Frosty the Snowman, please, please don't take out those handbells. Leave them in the box. Show some love this Christmas. Don't make me cry. Thank you.
Wait, hang on. I've got breaking news. President Trump is tweeting about our podcast. That's amazing.
Worst podcast ever? Sad?
Sham. It's a sham. Fake podcast. Yeah, it's hard for me to get up that much emotion about something that I don't really care about either way. I can listen to one, if I want to listen to one handbell song, that doesn't mean I have to put it on my playlist, but I could enjoy one handbell song. But I don't remember when I've ever seen a performance of a handbell choir in the last 20 years. So you've been hanging on to this bitterness a long time. You're the pastor of the church here, so if you're hearing it, it's because it's been done in your church.
I got some bad news for you. My daughter actually had to play the handbells.
When?
In a Christmas production a few years ago. And Caroline just admitted to me in a moment of weakness that she actually is a handbell player.
Technically back in kindergarten.
Oh.
Kinder through 2nd grade. Every year they would be like, oh, handbell time for the Christmas pageant. And they would always pick me because I was one of the kids that actually listened in music class. And yes, I agree. It is like one note in each hand. And the old woman that sits at the front pointing at the giant note card of colors is very boring. You know, it can get boring.
But
real
you've got,
fast.
you know, they have to wear the white gloves, and it's kind of, it's pretty
exciting.
cool.
It's fun for the people playing, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun, but not for the people listening. I mean, if you want to get in your room and play the Jew's harp, or get out your bagpipe or your banjo or your little harp or whatever, man, just have a great time. But don't make the rest of us suffer through it in a program. Have to sit there and listen to that on and on and on. For the love of Christmas, just say no, man.